So for this lesson, we're going to talk about naming a range of cells. So I'm going to close this file. It wants me to open a file called 04 Budget Ranges. Open. So 04 Budget Ranges. Okay. Enable content. The same one we were just using. So click Enable Content. Expense Details, Sheet tab. Select B3 to B14. So if you remember, hover over it, we can select it, hover over it, left mouse click, drag down to B13. B3 to B14. So down to B14. These are the cells to be named. So we've talked about naming a range of cells briefly in lesson 3. So type a one-word name for the list, such as Q1 expenses, and press enter. To the left of the formatting bar, click the name box. I'm going to click the name box. Hold on. Name box. So we're going to call this Q1 expenses. Press enter. So the range name appears in the name box. So if you were to highlight this again, it'd be called Q1 expenses. So an alternative way to name a range is to use the New Name dialog box. So select B16 to M16. So B16 to M16. On the Formulas tab, in the Define Names group, click Define Name. So the New Name dialog box appears. Excel uses the row headings as the range name, shown in the name text box. So you can change the name if you like. For this exercise, leave the default name. Utilities, subtotals. You pulled it from here. So open the drop-down list in the scope. So your options are workbook, expense details, summary. So the last two entries correspond to individual sheets in the workbook. So close the drop-down list, leaving workbook selected. You can put any comments in here if you like. If you need to put notes about why you created that, a name for the selection, you can do that. So leave this. This is your address. It's your cell address. So hit OK. So if you look up here in the name box, utilities, subtotals appears here because you still have this. active. So a third way to name a range is to use the Create Names from the Selection dialog box. Select N2 to N14. N2 to N14. So that includes the column heading. On the Formulas tab, again, we're up at the Formulas tab. In the Define Names group, click Create from Selection. Create from Selection. Create Names from Selection dialog box appears. So Excel determines that you want to use the column heading label as the range name. So click OK. So values in the top row. So the range is saved with the name total. Top row. Create names from values in the top row. Open the name box drop down list. Click on Total. Click on Q1 Expenses. Click on Utilities, and it goes back and it highlights that group of cells. Selects them. So now let's click File, Save As. We're going to call it Budget Ranges Solution. Hit Save.